On the air. Okay. Well, welcome to my third speech for Liberty University. My name is Mark Harris, and today's commemorative speech is on a young man, I should say, not boy, named Matty Stepanek, who passed away last year, and this is his tribute. And you can't get everything you want out of a 5-minute speech. The child is actually worth a lot more than what I'm going to give him. But at least this will familiarize you with him, and hopefully you do your own research and look into him some more. So here we go. My name is Matty Stepanek, and let's see, who was Matty? First off, Matty was born Matthew Joseph Thaddeus Stepanek on July 17, 1990. Matty was born with a rare form of muscular dystrophy known as dysautonomic mitochondrial myopathy. That's not quizzable, so don't worry about that. But it is rare. What is very rare about it was that all 3 of his siblings also had the disease, his brothers, and they had died. And his mother also lives today with the disease. So everybody in his family had it, and he was alive when his brothers passed away. Matty actually started writing poetry at the age of 3. What he did was, because he couldn't write, he would speak his words, and his mother would dictate them on paper. Matty was almost a child genius with his poetry and his way of seeing the world, even at the youngest age of 3. He did so basically when his brother died, and he witnessed his older brother die of this crippling disease. It was a way for him to release his emotions. By the time he was 13, he had written 4 books of collections of poetry, which all became New York Times bestsellers. He did do a 5th book, which was actually published after his death by his mother, and that book continued to be a New York Times bestseller as well. In the bottom, I have the pictures of his books: Heart Songs, Journey Through Heart Songs, Hope Through Heart Songs, then Celebrate Through Heart Songs, and then the final one was Loving Through Heart Songs. Matty's one goal in life was to be known as a poet, a peacemaker, and a philosopher who played, and that is his quote. And he emphasized the word played because he wanted to be known as a child who did this. Some strong words from Matty, which are really simple, is that Matty wanted all of us to remember to play after the storm, which basically means that we're all going to experience life storms and these challenges and these upheavals in our own lives, but the key is to get out after it's done and play, which is to do whatever makes you happy, but to not let that get you down and affect your whole life. And Matty knew from a very young age that his life on earth was limited, and he was living a dramatically shortened lifespan, and that was common knowledge to him. But he still knew that that wasn't what was going to get him down. That's a picture of Matty with his mother and his first book. This is one of his collections of poetry called Facing the Future. Every journey begins with but a small step. Every day is a chance for a new, small step in the right direction. Just follow your heart song. It's kind of amazing that he was about 9 when he wrote that. Words to live by. This was on growing up. We are growing up. We are many colors of skin. We are many languages. We are many ages and sizes. We are many countries. But we are one with the earth. We each have one heart. We each have one life. We are growing up together, so we must live as one family. Well, Matty's life was cut short about 17 days before his 14th birthday. Back on June 22nd, 2004, Matty passed away. When he did pass away, his funeral was, it made the news. Matty himself was a big media hit. He was on Oprah, many talk show hosts. One of his biggest fans was former President Jimmy Carter, who he saw on the Good Morning America. They all came to his funeral along with about 1,500 other people. Oprah spoke at his funeral, as did President Carter. President Carter actually exclaimed that Matty was the most extraordinary person he had ever met. And if you know, President Carter is a big-time peacemaker, and he's met almost every world leader in the last 40 years. And he thought that Matty was, without a doubt, the most extraordinary person he's ever come across. But what's good news about this is that on October 18th, just last month, in Rockville, Maryland, they created a park for Matty known as the Matty J.T. Stepanek Park. Let me get rid of that. The park is huge. It's central right in the city, and it also is a dog park. What is really nice about it is that you can see there's a life-size bronze statue of Maddie in his wheelchair. And if you can't really see from this photo, but if you were to look where Maddie's looking, he's looking directly at his mother's front door. Her house is across the street from the park. So every day his mom can see him, and in spirit he can see her. And that's what I have for you. I hope you get a chance to look into Maddie's work. It's really touching. It made an impact for me, and it's kind of a current event too because of this new park. And thank you for attending my speech.